And a warm welcome back to the Esports Championship Series. The qualifier day is now underway. We've had our first map of the day, but we are steadily moving through the group stage, which is a round robin stage, of course, and it's best of two. So AGG do have a chance, Mr. Bardolph. Mr. Bardolph.
Why'd you have to grass me up,
Don't set the
Reese?
grenade up.
Why'd you have to expose me like that?
Ah, yeah,
I
he
could have
cut to you
blamed Dan.
quickly.
I mean, even though our fingers are different colours, but
Indeed.
there we go.
That's one way to put it, I guess.
So AGG,
sizes
because of the
as
way
well.
because of the way the round robin system works in this, stop it, Dan. because of the way the round robin system works, they're not out of it. They can still get a point out of this game because the HellRaisers need to win both maps to get the 3 points. So, do we think they've got a shot on the second map, considering that they've played their opening map and not really played very well at all?
Not if Oscar keeps being Oscar. I think you know, especially on the CT side, I can't wait to see Oscar AWPing actually, because he's very good at being aggressive and being very dynamic, generally speaking, as a player. So I mean, he's great with rifles as well. But you know, you can often see the AWPers can make a big difference if the team allows for them to have a lot of space to work with. And I feel like HellRaisers are going to do that with Oscar. We can already see that. That's actually, this reminds me, a long time ago, when we had a situation where Oscar was playing with Simple on the same team, and Simple complained that Oscar was not enough of a team player, which
Stealing his frags.
which is quite rich coming from Simple. so you know, definitely that's he's going to be a player that has some of those. I won't compare him with Simple. I don't think you can compare anyone to Simple, but he is dynamic.
Okay. Talking about AGG, Furlan had a decent first map, but he was the only one, really, wasn't he?
Yeah, there wasn't much going on there on the whole map really for AGG. So hopefully we can get a more competitive game out of them. But I mean, in fairness, when you have a bad start on Cobble on the CT side, it's hard to get back. You know, hard to get a reasonable score in the first half. And if you can't do that, then a lot of the time you've lost the map already. So we'll see if they can do better now.
We don't see a lot of best of twos, Dan, but the way that it's set up, is that going to play a part, do you think, for AGG? Are they going to be thinking, well, do you know what, it doesn't really matter now, we can still get a point out, ignore game one, like, forget about it, let's just focus on map two?
Yeah, I think there's probably less pressure than a best of three, where it's the win is going to be much more important. Well, we'll have to see how it turns out in the whole group, generally speaking, but I would expect AGG to... I would have expected them to be more comfortable on a map like Inferno, because the lineup's been together for so long. They should have a lot of good routine together and quite a lot of routine to the setups that they're going to use defensively. But then I felt like that should have been the case on Cobblestone as well, but it wasn't, and that was their choice. So I don't really know what to expect from AGG, if their form is just off today or what. But we should be seeing something better from them, and they're going to be starting on the T side, I think. So rip AGG? I don't know.
Well, maybe. We are heading into the game, so gents, it's all yours for game number 2 in the qualifiers.
Okay, James. Is it going to be rip AGG? It looks like it's 3-man setup here. They're going to try and bait AGG into the B-bomb site. This is kind of cute. They're going to sacrifice Angel. Angel could just kill the entire team by himself with pistols. Sometimes he does that, but instead they're not going to show the other two players. And indeed, AGG will be baited towards B, and they will spot the extra 2 players, but they're going to get the frags regardless. So I guess that setup doesn't matter too much. But walking into the crossfire, you can see STYKO and queztone starting to get some work done, evening things up, and AGG are going to start moving to another bomb site. So HellRaisers managing to turn the tide and evening things up a little bit. And here is Oskar waiting with that USP on the outside. So AGG kind of being segued across the map by the HellRaisers players. Oh, Oskar, he might just find himself a CG frag, or indeed he will be the one that will be fragged.
Instead?
Nice. Don't know, James, I'm sick, leave me alone.
At least he didn't say chunks of death down.
There is still time.
2 versus 3 at present, but a bomb still needs to get planted here. It is on the site, and there's a bit of a crossfire, so it's going to be easy for HellRaisers to stop it, and indeed they won't. So there we go. For the most part, the CT still have the superior weapons in terms of range, but now it's just STYKO left. He's just wanting to pop heads, but they don't really need to give him the opportunity. They can allow him to get further into short, so they can go for the crossfire and shoot him with multiple guns. It will be Repo's gun to do the shooting. So AGG off to the start they needed. Is it the start they deserve? That is the question. I think you know, we've seen lost a few rounds already in just the one game we've had so far. Well, 2 rounds I think, where the pistol's been won and then things have not really been great, and we've seen trades back and forth. Are we going to see the same now? Angel going for the good old cheeky running deagle shot, but it's not going to pay off for him on this occasion. He's got the bomb left, passive position. AGG just wanting to see what HellRaisers are doing, if there's any crazy pushes, any nade stacks, anything mad going on, and then they will make a decision. There's not much in the name of grenades here. They've gone for 2 AKs and a Galil. You can see Hyper and Rallen both have some Molotov, so if they choose to go in apps, which probably wouldn't be a good idea, they can smoke off the, Molotov the balcony area and or the bedroom. But really, the apps in this situation is a haven for guns such as the 5.7, so it's not recommended to go there if you are a team. It seems they just want to basically place the picks here, but it hasn't really gone in favour of their team because GruBy's taken a lot of damage and he hasn't got a kill for it.
Oh dear. So, slowly but surely HellRaisers players are starting to form. They have split 2 to a bomb site as AGG go and rotate their way into the banana and eventually into the B bomb site, leaving the lurker Hyper towards the A apartments. It's going to go down. That was kind of interesting that he just ran out there before his team actually moved into the site. Oh, nice little deagle shot there from Zero. Might get a second one. Lots of damage done. In fact, lots of players dead here for AGG. Just STYKO left. He's found himself the UMP from the pits, from the crazy jump of Hyper out of the apartments. And STYKO actually holding the 5-7 instead there, and he will go down to Furlan. So 3 players down. Decent damage, to be honest, due to considering the investment of HellRaisers. But AGG off to a good start. Now, in a round like this, we would definitely expect them to execute these anti-eco strategies using those nades, and they have a full stock of Molotovs. So hopefully we will see just that. I'll be sad if we don't, to be honest.
I always like, if you're like standing in the middle of mids as a T towards the CCs, that's a nice angle. This is the angle I'm talking about at a major actually, where if you see where Fox holds his AWP angle, you can nade him from that tree position just the way they threw that Molotov, exactly the same. And he basically can't see it coming if he's scoped in, unless he's lucky. But yeah, if you're standing at top mids, there is a pillar coming up the back of the A site wall, which you can bounce a HE or a Molotov off, and it goes into boiler. And obviously, if the HE goes in there, it's going to hit the person, often blocks them, so it's maximum damage. If they have no armor, that's like 70 damage they're going to take from the HE. There we go, enough nerddom. We have, again, AGG, just, we got some Molotovs coming out, but at the same time, they're going to play the pink. But Rallen, he can go in there with this UMP, display information for his team. His teammate will hold the angle while he goes back to reload, and then he will finish off what is of the CTs over towards the big bomb site. And the bomb will start to head over there. Hyper's being taken down. But that's about it for the time being. Repo's got to be careful, though. He's been busy getting a few kills, but he doesn't have much HP left. So Oskar and STYKO remain. Both over towards the A site. Furlan isolated with his AK-47, and that's why you don't want to do that. Because if you go down, it's a free gun for the opposition.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird fight. I mean, he started off with a couple of taps and then just went full auto. Yeah. It's just like not taking his time at all there.
What's even weirder is Repo, top mid, has got 15 HP, goes for the peak. I don't think he even hit him once. And then runs away because he's only got 15 HP then. So you can see Oskar just waiting to pick up this AK. And they've only left the person with no life to go and save it. Or unable to pick up the gun with the post-round time. I think the standard time is 7 seconds at Valve Majors. So I would like to double check at some point what we're using, because that seems definitely shorter than 7 seconds, which some organisations did choose to reduce the amount of time after a round, but that looked kind of short. I know some orgs reduced it and then put it back because it was just far too short, but anyway, it's another conversation for another day. So the fight coming up for both teams now. Angel running to his death, and queztone soon to follow. A nice flash from Zero, but he's unable to get any work done. Can't stop the team from taking the site. AGG charging towards their 4th round.
Yeah, it's looking pretty strong at this take so far. Nothing that HellRaisers can really do about it. And do they opt to try to save here? If they get a fast frag, then they can definitely force the issue. But it is a bit marginal, to be honest. They do have a player who's pushed in construction, so that is quite helpful if they are deciding to go for it. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case just yet. Just trying to contain the T's into the bomb sites for now and trying to get the damage done that way. But the T's have a banana open at the moment and they know that, so they should all be able to escape without any further issue. So AGG will go up to 4 rounds and HellRaisers can force up in the following. But what do? Do they go aggressive on banana? Do they continue to play somewhat passively? There is you know, still lots to kind of work with. The only sad thing is that you really want to get north, I think, on Oscar, but they just don't really have the money to actually do that just yet.
Alright, so both teams on the bye again, but HellRaisers with a big fat 0 at the moment. And that smoke is going to be far too late to smoke off banana. But the Molotovs, they're still well, let's just wait and see what happens, shall we? GruBy's going to be the man to get the kill, but that was, I mean, that looked very drilled from HellRaisers. They had the Molotovs in there to force the T's back. They had the nades if they pushed forward as well. But it wasn't enough to go for the kill in case there was somebody behind second logs, if you will. I don't know if that position even has a proper name. I'll just call it second logs. So it was nicely executed by HellRaisers, but there's a bit of a flaw in their plan. Perhaps it was a bit too early on the push there, falling to GruBy's UMP. GruBy's going to have an AK now for his troubles, although look at the damage that's been taken by AGG. They've got 3 super heavily tagged players. I think if the one person on, oh, there's 2 people on B in fact, so yeah, I mean this could get even more painful for AGG.
Yeah, I mean they have to pretty much snap quickly into a bomb site at this point. And STYKO, he's got an aggressive position here in the apartments. That's really nice as he can basically spot rotation to A, which allows them to play 3 players towards the B bomb site, which is fantastic considering that right now they don't have many grenades left. They do need to take some sort of a risk, and that is a pretty good one with STYKO's forward position. And here we go, the push will come indeed from AGG into that B bomb site, and all that damage that had been previously sustained is being now a large issue. 3 players who remain for AGG are very low on health. Ooh, the team kill comes in because of it. 2 versus 2 now, as that bomb is going down the tag, coming in from Oscar's M4. Now, STYKO finding a good angle onto rallen as they were somewhat preoccupied with flare towards coils.
What?
Oh, wow!
What was that?
That was nice. With the last couple bullets, that little snap right there at the end. That was kind of nuts. That looked like it was a HellRaisers round, but instead they lose. And well, we're going to see the AWP on Oscar finally. So this is what I've been talking about for a while.
Such little health. That is unbelievable that they won that round. But there we go. So Oscar on the big green gun, moving over towards short. Let's see if he's going to go for the brazen peak. Of course he is. It's Oscar. Hyper aggressive. I'm surprised he didn't execute the chicken.
Yeah, yeah, I would have done that. Yeah. The chickens, seriously, the chickens can really ruin your AWP on this map.
Yeah, the chickens are a problem. Especially like if you're at the bottom of apps, as GruBy is there. I don't know, this is like... Wow. I'm surprised STYKO was just standing there like that. I don't know what he was trying to achieve, and he had nobody covering him. So it just seemed like it seemed very sloppy. Because from that timing, you have to know that the T's can get into apps. I mean, you should know the timings on a map like Inferno. It's been there long enough. So... if you're taking a gamble, it seems to pay off for him.
Well, it's the 4 versus 4, and AGG have the bomb towards second middle at the moment, and they have a player pushing the apps as well. So they have map control pretty much everywhere except for middle, top middle, currently, and that's what they need to next work on. And HellRaisers, they've got. 1 player pretty much all over the B-bomb site, a floating player towards Speedway. Nice little shot there from Oscar. That is the apps player out of the picture. And AGG slowly make their walk through. And Oscar, he's already got 2 frags for his team. How many more is he going to pick up? Because they are coming his way. at least one, you would imagine, could find his way towards Arch side. This is pretty good so far for HellRaisers. In comes the push now, Oskar on the AWP. And his teammates are going to be able to pick up one of the frags. There is another one from Oskar for his third in the round, leaving just repo alone. He will get the bomb planted. Oskar goes close with the AWP. Will he find an angle in time? Will repo be able to get the frag here? He's against 3 players, and it's going to be Angel. And oh wow, actually repo just got just a quick tag onto Oskar's face with the AK there. So good round with Oskar. Good round from Oskar. He kind of saved his team.
It was, and he did. However, look at the money on the CT side. Only 2 players survive, which means they're going to have next to nothing available. Obviously, that's that reset situation where if this round is taken by the T's, then who knows where they will end up. 5-1, this is not a good start here for HellRaisers. So the Mag 7's coming out already onto STYKO. It is viable on this map, with the apps being the way they are, but you have to make sure you hit that shot, because if you miss, that's a wrap. So Oscar's going to go for the peek again. Oh, almost finding the face there. Super fast with that AWP, but there we go. STYKO's going to get blind in accident. I don't know if he's even going to see the player go past. And does he shoot from that range? You can't really shoot with the Max 7 because he's not going to get a kill from that range. So he just has to raise the alarm bell for his teammate who's underneath, but he's got 3 people coming his way, so finally going to get the kill there. Picks up an AK as well, but he's stuck in the smoke, can't do much about it. Going to try and re-smoke himself to help his team out. In fact, there's only one left, and that is Repo, and now he is dead. So very good decision making not to take that Mag 7 shot, but to give the information to his team and try and get there as soon as possible without throwing the round away.
Yeah, another nice defense coming from HellRaisers despite allowing a bomb plant. Surviving with 3 players is an improvement upon the previous round of 2, and AGG finally find themselves on a bit of a quasi. So it is a Tech 9s though, and lots of grenades to back them up. So it is actually somewhat scary in its own right, to be honest. Sometimes a round like this can be even more dangerous than a gun round, depending on what kind of setup it's playing up against. Just due to the fact that you can take bomb sites without ever letting go of plus forwards. So we will all see Oskar with the AWP in the apartments.
Whoa.
And there you go. Look at that. They're just straight up in there because of the Tech 9s. You can just move so fast with them. And there's one frag from Oskar from the balcony, but he's lost 2 teammates already. And the bomb has been planted.
queztone's coming in for help, so there's a bit of a crossfire. Smoke's all over the place, still nades flying out as well. There we go, the cleanup operation has begun by HellRaisers. Surviving with 3 players this time, so a small improvement, economy-wise, going forward. 2-round gap now. HellRaisers will need to string quite a few. Oskar actually has some reasonable spawn. I think there are actually better spawns that can be had for peeking mid. Actually, no, they definitely are. So, yeah, it looks like he's going to take the safe route. Who are susceptible to nades as well as AWPing, and perhaps even a bit of rifling.
I'm just happy that he's been hitting his shots, that he's been doing, you know, as expected. And once again, here is the peak. Will he get it this time? Oh, we're going to switch very quick. I thought that was Oskar that died there, but actually we switched to STYKO just as he died.
He's so perfect to that peak as well. Like that angle you saw him, he was basically holding that angle straight away, which is very impressive because I don't see many AWPers doing that in that specific position. Meanwhile, the rest of the HellRaiser team has been more or less gutted, leaving queztone and Zero alone over towards B bomb site. But AGG yet to commit to anything. They are suggesting a B. And another thing AGG did when they were executing over towards B earlier is there was a player standing on the car who primed the Molotov, which you can actually hear when it starts flaming. You can hear that. So he primed it and got his gun back out in case there's any like counter flash aggression or just general aggression. So I like that he tried to do that. But there we go, I'm being a nerd.
Ooh, nice little defensive kill there from queztone. And it looks like AGG are, oh no, they're actually going to go back up bananas, so they're going to go to the only site where the only 2 remaining CTs actually are right now, which is kind of interesting. I mean, queztone's tagged a little bit, but there's still all the nades. There's an incendiary each on both queztone and Zero. Oh my goodness, here they all are going to be arriving queztone only will be able to pick up one single frag along with 0, but that's some decent damage considering the position they were in. And with the money that they have now, they can actually go for another buy, and Oscar's going to be on an AWP, so AGG could get reset in this round, to be honest, as the damage done at the end of the previous round was enough that we're going to see AGG spend most of their reserves. Only a couple players with around 2k left, so this is a really important one for HellRaisers to win, and they're looking pretty decent actually. It's just zeros without any utility. And is on a FAMAS, but Oscar has almost full nades and even head armor. Nice for that pick here and here. He might just get it, but wow, GruBy just somehow able to outplay Oscar there. Very wide peek into the headshot. 4 versus 4 situation now, as AGG are far from committing to either bomb site. Although what they do really need is some retail on the map. They don't have anything just yet. Nothing on banana. They don't have top mids. They don't really have apartments, so they need to work on that.
Yeah, that's a very difficult angle to hit consistently with AWP. I mean, I think that's like a 60% angle, maybe a little bit more, but there we go. Can be expensive. HellRaisers, though, still have a man advantage, but they lack vision over towards Arch. No flash coming in for 0. Just going to run out and get shot by 3 people, unfortunately, which is going to send AGG wrapping towards B bomb site. Angel gets taken down in isolation as well, perhaps reading it to be an A. So I don't know what if the communication says HellRaisers right now. And there we go. So 3-1v1 for the CTs, and that's another round lost for them. STYKO, last man standing, over towards A. I mean, there were 2 people on the A bomb site towards where that first peak was coming in towards Arch. I'm not sure if the relevant people had flashbangs, but really, you want a flash coming out there for a safe peak. He's just, because that's not how you're going to end up with a successful round, basically. Just running out to Arch. No idea what will be greeting you. Unfortunately for him, it was not 1 but 3 T players.
Importantly, he's saving the AWP. Hopefully for his team's sake, he can keep it alive, but oh, did he hear the crawl? I guess he did. So, yeah, I mean, if you can keep this AWP alive, then they can do something sneaky, like maybe send a couple players down mid to accompany Oscar with the AWP, and that would be good times for HellRaisers. From
that wall, he was just wallbanging at the end there. You can actually shoot, if somebody's playing car aggressively, you can shoot him in the face from there. That's a true story, Dan.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely, it's true. It's the truth. 7-3 for AGG. Oscar, big green gun, the rest of the team. Hopes and prayers, Dan. Hopes and prayers. They've got little, you know, gifts. So they got Oscar with little bows on. Hoping that they will be a worthy sacrifice for him to prevail. But we have a fast play from AGG through Arch, and they have made the right gamble, it seems, because there's nobody here to greet them. STYKO is going to get taken down. There's another player in the pit that we even looked for. Oscar is still yet to be found. And 0, I think, is standing in smoke at present. The bomb is being planted on the site itself, so... he's got a kit down. We had a kit, but now he's dead. I was wondering. He walked out of smoke, and I thought, is he just going to try and just walk onto the site and defuse? That would have been the hero defuse. The hero defuse, but it was not to be.
Yeah, that was pretty... It's actually very, very, you know, possible for him to have gotten 2 kills there as well. And but it's unfortunate that the AWP was on the other bomb site for HellRaisers. 2 versus 4. Of course, HellRaisers not able to really save much apart from that AWP. The other player, queztone, doesn't have anything on him. Not even any Kevlar. So AGG picking up another round. They're looking so much better than on that first map, which was their choice. So it does make you wonder what the hell happened there. So MP9 on STYKO. It's kind of fur thing, just fur things. Fur things?
Really, well, I think, see, he had a better spawn than Oscar did previously. He could potentially run straight into apps. He's going to go for the deep nade. Oh, they're going to go for the push. Going to go for ruthless aggression, Dan. I don't know if he's going to be seen with that HE smoke. He's going to go for the controlled spray. Running out of bullets already. In that situation from so far, you can only expect to get really 1 kill from the MP9 unless you double tap the head. But the CTs have come in to get more. Of got people tagged on the CT side, but they have, again, the man advantage. Bombs being picked up, and it looks like it could be a fast play over towards the A bomb site. I do believe there is a player in pit. That's queztone. So he should have heard some sounds there, I would believe. I believe he has, because we see a rotation towards CT by one of the B players as well. But indeed, well, it's actually unclear as to where they might be going. They're so close to the A bomb site, I'd be surprised if they now went to B. queztone's always going to walk backwards and get shot in the head, unfortunately for him. So there it is, an open A bomb site for AGG.
Okay, so in comes the rotation. Oskar just getting all the nades off the floor.
That's a save, I think.
It's looking that way.
He's just going to, you know, he's got his metal detector picking up the junk, Dan.
Like on the beach.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
No, but I walked on the beach with my girly whirly, and we saw a guy doing it. Yeah, they often do it around the Tate Modern, around the Tower Bridge,
oh, really?
London Bridge area, yeah. So pretty much up and down the Thames. You see people wandering around with metal detectors, but I mean, people have been doing it for so long, I don't know why people would bother now. It's not often things are found these days, but hey, if it's your hobby, then go forth and metal detect.
Get a new hobby.
Or get a new hobby, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of them in the area where I was from as well. At the Bournemouth pool beaches.
Metal detecting around the badges.
Detecting all the metals.
Nice.
Okay, so nice little nade out there. Repo's gonna find the business under that grenade. But now, HellRaisers might start to play a little bit more passively as the nades start to rain in. So nice nade there. I do like that one.
Yeah, that is the nade that I keep nerding about on the tree.
You can wallbang the little bricks there in front of the second logs into that area. No one does it though.
Oh really?
Yeah, you can actually wallbang. But anyway, nice push coming in from the T side. And looking pretty grim right now for HellRaisers. They have to try to get this done on the rotation, on the retake. But I don't know how likely it is. They do have a lot of nades, but how much do they want to sacrifice trying to do this? And a fast frag will go the way of 0, but he's going to get tagged down to 16 in the process of that. So yeah, HellRaisers don't really like this one.
Well, this is round 13, so I mean, really, they're saying that they need to take both of the final rounds. Although 5-10 is not the score you want when you're on the CT side of Inferno, so it seems they are having the experience that AGG had on Cobblestone. I respect the Molotov just in case. He has more money than he should spend in the coming rounds. We'll see if he does or does not.
But yeah, I'd like to see more people trying that wallbang actually, because you have to. The way you do it is you have to actually boost somebody. So you have to crouch, get someone to crouch in front of you and stand on their head. And if you know the right brick to shoot at, you can hit the angle there.
I knew you could use it in reverse, but for some reason I didn't think of it in that direction, which is logical.
It's pretty cool, yeah. Again, no one does it, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's like when you're a street photographer, right? They always say, you know, always look behind you, or landscape photographer or something like that. You know, something outside.
Always look behind you, why?
Because you never know. You might be missing something. You know, you're walking forward, but if you turn around, then who knows what landscape you're missing purely because you're only looking in one direction, right?
Fair enough. Makes sense. Okay, so we'll have aggression from HellRaisers on Banana. But so far, they haven't rotated anybody back. Usually when you do that, you can afford to rotate someone back towards A. You don't always have to. That's, you know, it's part of the gamble, part of the guess for the piece. Oops.
Nice.
That is a terrible smoke grenade.
Those are my nades when I haven't slept for a day and a half.
That is pretty awful. I'm surprised to see a grenade like that.
That's actually the worst nade I've ever seen on Inferno.
Yeah.
It's the worst I've ever seen thrown, ever.
Yeah. It's just on the... It's not even... That's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
I think he was supposed to be much higher. I have a funny story about nades that I'll mention later. STYKO, I thought he was going to just play in the smoke and stand there for a while, but no, he's got people to kill. Down goes Furlan, and the AGG team getting wiped out very quickly indeed here. Rallen will be dispatched of as well. There was a team who will go unmentioned who bootcamped with us once, and they were practicing, and one player told his in-game leader, "I don't know any nades." And the in-game leader said, "Why not?" And he said, "Because I changed my resolution." Like, he said, "I just changed my resolution. I don't know any nades now." That was actually a thing. Nice. Both teams back on the bye though. So can HellRaisers get that much needed 5th round? And again, he's just right on the button with the level of his crosshair when he goes to that peak, which is crazy. Again and again. And how many will serve themselves to God Oscar? It will be 2 as Hyper finally gets to trade.
I love his confidence. He just doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, I love it.
It's really nice when you can just be... That's where you really want to be. You want to be in a spot where you're going to say, okay, I'm taking this fight, but you don't get worried or impacted by taking a lot of damage or that someone's shooting at you. Because that can very easily add a lot of pressure to your shot. But Oscar just steps out there. He's like, I don't care. I'm just going to shoot you now.
Yeah. You're going to die because I said so. My name's Oscar. So what can AGG do with what they have left? They've still got some grenades, they've got some smokes, although depending on who has the smoke will determine whether or not it's going to be successful from what we've seen already. They have enough to play for trades and try and take a site, but where are they ultimately going to go? The more time they take to decide, the harder it may be for HellRaisers to put their men in the right situation. Both men over towards the A sites are currently isolated, but the Arch player is in such a position that he could help with a crossfire. However, if they move towards Arch, then he is going to be there alone. I think he set up for the pop flash off the roof, actually. And here it is. But Hyper sees it coming from a mile away, so it's going to be completely unprotected. And indeed, the trades will come in from the T side. We've got a smoke down towards the pit area as well. So 10 seconds on the clock for the bomb to get planted. If he jumps up on the truck, could be in trouble, but Zero is going to get taken down. So, down to the 2 versus 2. Both CCs coming in from the B bomb site, from CC spawn now. The AGG have a bit of a crossfire.
In from the B. So, here we go. The smoke is slowly dissipating, and Furlan will easily kill Angel, just running through there. Not much he can do, and that's going to be that, meaning that we'll have an 11-4 first half. So AGG at this point, they just need to win a pistol, and it's GG on Inferno. What are they going to do?
Yeah, it should be GG, but we saw that in the first game where HellRaisers won the pistol in the second half and they lost the force fire afterwards. So one never knows, but let's see what can be done. We're soon going to be into the second half here. So obviously, AGG quite need this W since they lost the first one. So I think that both teams will have a point each, as opposed to one team taking 3 points, which makes me wonder how it will impact them going forward with the matches that we have coming up today and tomorrow. Time will only tell. So yeah, HellRaisers with 4 rounds on the board. It looks good for AGG. It does.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see them losing from this point. If you get 11 T rounds on Inferno, you're not supposed to lose, James.
No, you should most definitely win. However, I just have no faith based on what happened before. Not in a particular team, but between these two teams, it seems that anything might be possible, or we might see more trades. And hey, if HellRaisers win the pistol, then they should get to 7-11. And if they take the first buy round, then all of a sudden the score is almost even.
I feel like we could use this table for a cooking show, James. What do you think? I think we've got some more versatility with this desk.
You want to do a cooking show?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose...
Croquettes with Dan.
I don't know, are there sprinklers in here? I don't see any sprinklers. Perhaps. I don't know if there's enough extraction for a cooking show. Maybe a salad show.
But if...
Salads with Dan.
Salads with Dan?
Yeah.
Why me? Why not you?
Well, it was your idea.
Oh, I wanted to do croquettes with Dan. Didn't say anything about salads.
I know, but I mean, like, if you're going to actually cook, then depending on the level of your cooking, you might need extraction, right?
Oh, it's just saying if there's no extraction, it has to be salads.
Yeah, basically. Or sandwiches with Dan.
Salads.
Let's do a show, sandwiches with Dan. I think that's amazing. Sandwiches with Dan, right? We could do like in a really crappy font in pink or something. Sandwiches with Dan. A new show brought to you by ECS. Let's go. We have to make this happen now.
we got to use this test for something now.
Sandwiches.
We can have 10 wheels on it at once.
And what would we do with the wheels?
We're going to spin them all at once.
Okay, we'll get back to this. We are into the pistol round. AGG on the CT side, as you can see there. And we've got HellRaisers moving very quickly through top mid in towards A. He's got some 360s in the apps, but they're not going to come up with the no scopes as the headshots are coming in for AGG. So we look good here for a 12th round. The bomb has been planted, but it gets man advantage, but nobody's looking towards Arch. The trade comes in at least. 4 versus 2 now, but 2 of the players on the CT side are very heavily tagged indeed, and that was not one of them, which means that this really could go either way now. We've got duels going on elsewhere. queztone has people to find. There's the first one. Down to 2 versus 2 now. So STYKO is going to have too many enemies at the same time, and the pistol will indeed go to AGG. Raise your sandwiches.
Oh dear, this is not a good prospect for the Raisers of Hell, James. They
Really?
are instead in troubling times.
With rallen spawn, again, he could, well, I don't know if you'd want to do it necessarily on this particular round when you know your opponent's going to force buy, but he can run straight into apps. But again, I know people like AZ, for example, will run straight into apps and then throw a HE into second mid as opposed to facing themselves. But rallen's going to be the human AWP and just look down there and try and shoot people in the face and the chest, but nobody engaging just yet. So it seems that these players will be looking to close the distance, move into apps, try and get some one-taps. We'll see if AGG serve themselves up on the plates.
Well, the HellRaisers side with these Tech 9s are quite scary. They can move quite quickly towards this Arch side now and go for the wrap onto the A site. See the bomb is towards Arch, and there's GruBy. If he finds good timing to come out of library, then these players are all going to be in trouble. But instead, it looks like it's going to be AGG with 3 players left now against the 2 remainder of HellRaisers who get the bomb planted in the corner of the site. It's not a good plant. And they just have Oscar and queztone left as AGG go and for a coordinated retake from all the prongs. Oscar with the Yimp is going to get the first kill. I love me some Imp. But will Oscar get it done? He's got the Tech 9 now. That's the headshot from the Tech 9. And he'll finish it off as well onto Hyper.
Oh look, it's another trade again.
And I really dislike Tech 9s, James.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
I don't think that first shot was anywhere near the guy. Just instantly headshots him.
So again, it's a situation where the pistol run was won and then the force buy was lost here. So AGG's turn to be onto the pistols, and one has to wonder how far HellRaisers will go with this. And if they can take it, if they can close things to a much more closer score. Still a 7-run deficit, so AGG not going to be too worried just yet. But when they finally get on their full buy, if it doesn't work out for them, then maybe there will be cause for concern.
I think it would be amusing if HellRaisers lost this round. I think it would be amusing, James, if they lost this round.
Why is that?
Because, I don't know, they shouldn't lose the round. Because the AGG only have CZs. I respect the CZs these days. I respect them greatly. It takes a lot of skill to get multiple kills with the CZs. It's very good at, but it has a pretty high skill ceiling, unlike the Tech 9. Anyway, we'll have the 4 versus 4 now as the initial trades go the way of HellRaisers. They are moving quite quickly now onto the B-bomb site. And looks like my dream is not going to be fulfilled.
The dream is dead, Dan. Much like our social lives.
And my immune system.
And your immune system. Nice. Alright, so there is one gun somewhere that Hyper can try and pick up. He's got no money in the bank, as you can see there, because he's gone for the force. Do you think AGG? Well, there's never one right way to do things in Counter-Strike. There are always options, or almost always options, multiple options. But would you have gone for the force buy here, considering they have a 7-round lead? I wouldn't have gone for it. I'm not saying they're wrong for doing it. I'm just saying that I wouldn't, and my opinion is important, Dan.
Yeah, I think it's fine either way. Just because because of even though it's like a low percentage that you'll win the round, if they did, they would actually reset HellRaisers and then they would have a big advantage, and you would expect them to go straight to 14 rounds. And because in a low percentage play, it can be justified by the fact that they have such a buffer of rounds. Anyway, but there's always ways you can argue for and against it. I think you know, it can be a bit of a stylistic thing as well. Some teams like Envious, one of the reasons why they were so renowned for that sort of stuff is because their individual skill was so good, meaning that it was like a higher percentage play for their team as opposed to many others. But then there's a school of thought where you just want to get as many buy rounds as possible, and that's fine too.
It's all fine, Dan, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
everything's fine, everything's good.
Because they have such a buffer of rounds, you can make an argument both ways.
There's surely a flash coming in here. There's surely a flash coming in here. There it is, the money flash. That chimney actually is not solid. You can throw a flashbang straight through it as you just did. And here comes the charge on the CTs, straight into the UMP. Don't want to get a too forward. Wants to use that range, have a bit of damage fall off going on those pistols. And he's moving back. Perhaps because his gun ran out of money? I would have thought maybe, at some point I think he's going to want to throw this over the roof. Although, because of this last play he won't need to, he can go and collect his AK again. So, nice play by him. Always good to dispose of guns when you have the chance and the other team's on an eco, although always make sure that you have somebody covering the angle if you are going to do so, otherwise you are going to be embarrassed. Ryan's picked up the AWP now. He has Kevlar as well. Don't always see that. I think there were a few rounds where Oscar was AWP no armor in the previous map. Not many nades on the CTs. On the CT side, so you have to wonder if they're going to be very aggressive to try and even things up in that respect. There are, I think, 3 people over towards Banana, but they are not going to get any frags there. Hopefully our sound comes back shortly.
I didn't even realise it went away, but now I'm very aware, James.
Back in the room, Dan.
Yeah. So it looks like we'll have a lot of damage down onto the HellRaisers players as they make the approach onto the A site, but it's okay because they're picking up the kills. And oh dear, everyone from AGG be dead. Just Furlan left. He can't really do much by himself, so he's probably just going to keep this weapon alive, see if he can get some exits. I do like the ECS logo.
It's pretty sick, isn't it?
Even though it does just look like the Tinder logo, it's fine.
I didn't even know what that was until you showed me earlier.
It is basically the Tinder logo, just a bit more fancy. It's genius, James. It's ingenious.
It looks like a flaming fireball thing to me,
as opposed to a non-flaming fireball.
What I meant is like a, I don't know, like a fireball as in not just a general fireball, but like a Street Fighter fireball or a, I don't know. Or it's like the top of a matchstick which is on fire. Which I suppose is a little bit fireball-y.
It's the Tinder logo. Just saying. Just saying.
Do you swipe left or right on? I don't even know which way you're supposed to do
what?
it. I don't know if you want to connect or whatever it's called.
You want to connect.
What do they call it?
Let me interface with you. You want to interface, James, you need to swipe right.
Okay.
You want to tell them to off, then you need to swipe left, James.
Nice. Some people have been known to just swipe right and not even look at the phone, Dan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's an interesting strategy.
Indeed.
I don't think the Tinder algorithms support such behaviours, James. I think they punish you for that.
What was the... Didn't we have someone who will go unnamed who was in the office and had like some kind of machine that was just like browsing through the entire website or something and just
I know which
hundreds of people a second or something like that.
I know exactly the person you're talking about. Yeah. And I don't think he even would care.
One of the thirstiest men in esports.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I don't think he'd even care. Funny thing is most people are probably going to assume certain... Anyway, let's move forwards. Let's get back into this mess of Inferno. It's a bit messy for AGG. They are 12 rounds to 8. They start losing grip of their lead. Perhaps they are even without their dignity at this point. They are armorless, defenseless, Although that said, there is decent defense being put up so far. They've got a couple kills to speak of. Although slowly but surely their advantage diminishes as HellRaisers take the B-bomb site. And the rotation from AGG comes in, but STYKO, he was hiding in the crawl space.
You know, is it MIT or one of those places with loads of smart people in America, where they made a device that puts out flames with sound waves?
I don't know.
So do you remember the tactical shield in previous versions of Counter-Strike? Question is, will we one day have like a loudspeaker to put out Molotovs in Counter-Strike? Maybe I should email Valve and get a loudspeaker, suggest they add a loudspeaker into the game that you can use to put out Molotovs.
Why would you want to do that?
To become a hate figure, Dan.
because with the loudspeaker also
I want to live
distinguish smokes.
I want to live long enough to see myself become a villain, Dan.
Alright, we can make that happen. So we got the 4-buy from AGG now, and they have of course the AWP out on rallen. Now, curiously, their setup looks pretty passive. Not really applying any pressure anywhere. They got 2 men on arch side, 1 on the pit, so quite passive, in fact, quite defensive, giving up as much of the map as HellRaisers want to take. And HellRaisers walking balcony actually with 3 players. GruBy caught out of position but able to pick up a frag before going down. And the 2 players on arch side are actually somewhat useless in this situation. Of course, you know, they can reapply the pressure immediately onto the bomb site, but they can't stop the bomb from being planted, and that's a pretty big deal. And that's going to set HellRaisers to somewhat of an advantage here now, because despite being 3 versus 4, the smokes are down, they can take post-plant positions. HellRaisers have an advantage.
Indeed they do. How will they go for the retake here? They've got 2 coming up top mid and 2 coming from CT, but repo is going to get taken down. STYKO's position is quite strong. Oh, I'm not going to get checked properly. Could find 2 actually, and that will slow the push as well. So AGG getting a bit eviscerated there in that retake attempt. So apologies for the lack of game sound again. They won in the new studio. May bring up some teething problems, so hopefully it will be back soon. Perhaps producer Reese can tell us what exactly is going on there. AGG back on the pistols. A few nades here and there, but it's not the full force, excuse me. Okay, so they are working on things in the background. And get that Molotov to take CTs off the initial angle, but that smoke is a good response. So HellRaisers won't have the map control that they would have liked over towards Banana, but they still have time on the clock. And, oh, we've got sound there. I can hear again those glorious sounds of Kalashnikovs being fired.
And the AGG Mandem in the apartments looking to pick up some close range fragging and lots of burning. AGG unable to withstand the grenades, plural, as there were more than one. English with Dan. Ooh.
Well done, Dan.
Okay, so we've got 3 versus 2. AGG with 1 AK on Hyper. Hyper is pretty scary actually as far as the polls go. He's pretty damn good. Almost joined, or was it what is the word? They considered him to join Virtus Pro quite a long time ago. Ooh, see you later.
Oh, how do you not take that angle?
And poor Hyper, he's going to be left without a bomb to defuse. So AGG will loosen their grip once again. This is really scary actually, because AGG looked like they were going to basically win pretty easily, pretty quickly. And now HellRaisers have all the momentum, and AGGs just don't seem to have an understanding how to win the map anymore. They've tried a lot of passive setups, and HellRaisers have just been kind of crushing them.
They've only won the pistol round in this half, and that's it.
So and queztone there with 27 frags. That's pretty beast. 27 frags.
Yeah, it's not looking very good for AGG at the moment. You know, they didn't do very well on Cobblestone, and they are. And to say they have looked unable to close this map would be an understatement, because again, they've merely One the pistol, and that's it. They had such a big lead, and it goes down to 1. We've got a tactical pause coming in from AGG. So again, they have. Well, I mean, what if you're AGG? What discussion might you be having right now?
Maybe they should start a career as chefs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they can join our show.
Starting
James.
with your sandwich show,
Yeah.
cooking sandwiches.
You don't cook sandwiches,
Just make
James.
sandwiches.
You make them.
Well, you can cook sandwiches as well.
You can cook ingredients that you then put inside of the sandwich.
What about cheese toasties?
Well, that's not a sandwich, it's a toasty.
What's a sandwich? And you cook it, and then it's a toasty.
This is complicated, James.
Get wrecked, Dan.
It's very multifaceted, this construction of sandwiches.
Perhaps you'll need more than one series, Dan, in your sandwich show.
Yeah.
Cooking with Dan, sandwiches. Cooking with Dan, sandwiches. With heat?
With heat.
You could have toasties. You could, I don't know if you could put it in a George Foreman grill.
Bacon.
I suppose you'd want to heat bacon, yeah. So AGG have about, I don't know, up to about 6,600 in the bank here. So AWPs can be afforded. What do they need to do? Is it aggression that they need? I mean, obviously, being a tactical pause, we might see HellRaisers do some weird stuff to try and respond to anything that AGG might have in mind as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've been very passive. I think they could do a lot with taking banana and just because if you want to get aggressive, that's the easiest way to do it. Apartments can be a little bit more risky to go aggro there, but if they take the control of banana, they can play around with it quite significantly instead of doing what they're doing right now, which is mostly being just playing very passively to even to the extent where they have 2 arch side and then 1 in the pit, and then they just get overrun on the bomb site. And the 2 arch side can be really nice if the other team's trying to trade into arch side, but so far HellRaisers haven't really been doing that too much. So AGG, I mean, go for a more conventional setup or play some aggression on banana is what I'd like to see, but we'll have to see what they interpret this to be. I mean, Oskar was doing a great job opening up the map, getting out the advantages for HellRaisers on the CT side with the AWP. We've got double AWP now for AGG, so maybe they're going to try to do the same thing there as well. Although this is, again, very passive. Look at this.
Indeed.
Coils with the AWP there.
But look at the CTs as well, over towards A.
Yeah.
So we've got all kinds of weirdness going on. So it's good that the CTs have taken a drastically different approach. And I think that was perhaps an attempted shoulder peek. I think they're trying to clear sandbags at the moment, but there we go. Reaper holding a super tight angle, and he's not getting any payoff for it. Furlan goes down as well, and Repo soon to follow, naded into oblivion. So, I mean, he was holding an insanely tight angle there. Guy passes, doesn't even shoot, so that didn't pay off for them. And now, you know, their B plan is down the drain.
Now the rest of the team are like, well, good job, guys. You killed 0 people. Guess we lose around now. Good job, guys.
He barely even fired his gun, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so
that's the problem with AWPing from that angle. You don't, you get the spot, but you don't really get much opportunity to do anything from there. To be honest, like in so far as nades or slowing them down or supporting your teammate, it's very easy for you to just get isolated and you won't be able to play crossfires very well. It's
risky business.
It is quite risky. I mean, if you're able to hit the shots, then it's great, but we saw that was the opposite there, and there's no fallback from that. You got to hit the shots. Oh, the jump and the frag. The cleanup crew has arrived.
Okay, so perhaps GruBy saves the weapon. No, he does not. He's going to die as well. 12-12. And the pause didn't work out for AGG, unfortunately, because of the B bomb site play. So now they are quite restricted in terms of utility. The buy will come out. Let's see what nades they do. I mean, again, obviously, there wasn't really any engagement towards the A bomb site, so they can go for the same setup that they had in the previous round, although it's not often you see people bothering to do that. Rollen's going to have a look around down the mid, but he knows what Oscar's capable of, and here it comes, that signature aggression from the man. Going to start his search. So AGG with some aggression over towards B this time. We've got the pop flashes coming in, but it is not going to have any rewards. And Repo doesn't have any flashes left. So I think they're going to change places. and perhaps do it again. Indeed, they're doing the same setup here because they were limited. So the pre-fight comes out actually, and Repo's going to get heavily tagged, trying to run away, but he's not going to make it. So complete disaster again from the AGG boys on the B-bomb site. I mean, they tried a complete different approach, but again, limited utility. They had to literally walk and swap places to get another flash in, but it just didn't pay off. But Furlan does get some revenge after all.
I like revenge. James.
Christ. Good bet.
It's a good life philosophy. Here we go. Bomb stuck on banana at the moment for HellRaisers. And, I mean, with 3 CTs left, they can definitely go pretty much anywhere as long as they go together. And they've actually opted to go towards A, interestingly. And this is not going to be a great call for them, especially considering that they're running into a lot of firepower. 2 players here of the 3 CTs, 2 of the 3. STYKO in with a double kill. That's a really nice couple of headshots out there from him and the bomb plant as well. Now it's just Furlan who is rotating rapidly onto the A bomb site. Coming up from middle, STYKO has no idea just yet, but he's going to take a decent position regardless. It is the graveyard. Just one more frag, and he will save HellRaisers in this round. And ooh, this is a nice choice by Furlan going in the apps, and STYKO saw it, and he's going to get flashed a little bit, but he already had the angle. Very well played by STYKO, showing exactly why people respect and admire him.
Oskar sitting on a mere $16,000 is going to buy up. And AGG will now be on the losing end of things, 13-12. They led the lead for so long, but again, they've only yielded 1 result, and that was on the pistol since the buys have come in, even before then.
It's so weird
Nothing
that
but failure.
They did so well on T side, but now they're getting crushed. It's the same thing with HellRaisers. How did they do so poorly on the CT side, and now why are they having such a good CT half? Did something happen on Inferno whilst we were at the major?
It was kind of the case for Cobblestone as well, was about at least HellRaisers T side. So AGG have finally taken control of Banana, but they do it on the round. Actually, no, they haven't taken control of Banana, excuse me. Never mind. I thought he was in a completely different place. So HellRaisers looking to creep up top mid, and Rallen's looking to play close with the CZ, but unfortunately Rallen's on fire. Being on fire is often a bad sign. It's often a bad sign that indeed it is suboptimal to be on fire, generally speaking, in life.
Unless you're... no, never mind. That's a topic for another time.
Okay, being on fire is a topic for another time, says
Yeah.
that.
So now we have finally HellRaisers deciding to go for a push. Now they've walked around the map a little bit. They're like, all right, we have decided upon the B-bomb site now as we've gained information elsewhere. This looks like a good call. Oh my goodness, why is there no kills? Why are there no frags there?
5-7, please. Oh, there we go. Speaking of 5-7, nice crossfire from the CT, and the 5-7's going absolutely bananas here. AGG are going to wait until they lose the lead to take the lead back.
That's like a banana emporium, James.
If the first guy with the Deagle had a 5-7, then that happens much earlier. Because HellRaisers didn't really do a great job of having an anti-force buy. They just kind of said, okay, let's go B. And then they got wrecked. Absolutely wrecked, fully wrecked.
That's the second round that AGG won, right? So
yeah, the pistol and this.
Jeez. That's not a good sign. Maybe they can, let's see if they can close here. Looks like Rallen will get naded away. That's nice. Pressure from HellRaisers in to take away some map control from AGG and force them to the passive setups, in which they have not been doing too particularly well previously. And just, again, extra pressure forcing a smoke grenade out, and we've got a rotation there as well. Looks like they actually swap players. They have a new man in B. GruBy wins the one-on-one in apps, so now they can play very passively. They can just use this advantage. They don't need information, really. Well,
I mean, things have been going so well for them. It's probably hard to... Well, I say so well. They've won a round.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's like a kind of a weird spot. I mean, you can argue both ways, but if you go 5 versus 4 on a map like this and you're low on grenades, you actually don't want to I mean, you can go aggressive if you want, but I think most teams would actually take it and just play very safe positions, like 2 pit or something on the A bomb site instead of playing aggressively on quad and aggressively in the apps. And that way you can let the Ts come to you, and if you just trade properly, you should win because you have the man advantage already. But looks like we'll get some grenades in towards the B-bomb site. So the delay rotation, it's a fake, and the bulk of HellRaisers are moving towards the A-bomb site now for the finish.
Bomb's going to get planted in the... I don't even know what you call that, the ninja spot. You have to get right in the corner to just reach the tip of the bomb planting area. It's really weird that Angel stands on the logs to throw a smoke, a very simple smoke, towards construction, because I don't know anyone else who has to jump all the way up there to just to throw a bog standard smoke like that. But there we go.
I can hear birds chirping.
I don't think it's in the studio, Dan. I don't know if a bird's ever been in the studio before.
Is it? It's in the game though.
I wonder what our old studio looks like. Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
Well, sometimes, like on Mirage, you hear a dog. On Mirage. You can try and think about it, but it's not going to make any sense.
Where is the dog?
I have no idea, but sometimes, on a rare occasion, you can hear a dog on Mirage.
Where?
So obviously, you normally hear the dog on Inferno. I can't even remember where. I think it might be mid, but I'm not.
Is it mid?
100% sure.
I feel like. I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's. There's like there's a room in Mirage where sometimes you spawn there when you load the map. On rare occasion, it doesn't really happen anymore, but it used to sometimes. Well, maybe it's in there. I don't know, but on occasion, rare occasion, you can hear a dog on Mirage.
So weird.
I know there's a dog in Inferno v Apps Produceries, but there's also one in Mirage. Smart ass, right? Keep your comms to yourself, buddy.
Ooh, nice little nade there from repo. They're going to push. HellRaisers trying to force their way through onto that A-bomb site, and the trades will come in. They are at the disadvantage on the men, but they've taken over the bomb site. Now they need only grab the bomb, punch in the numbers. Well, okay, now they're even. Nice little nade there. Rallen will fall. Rest in pieces, my friend.
Imagine if AGG actually won this.
Don't do this, James.
I mean, how weird would that be? Like,
It would be very weird.
Let's just lose all the rounds until we're in the back. In the back? I can't speak English anymore. Until we're losing. And then let's win.
Till we're in the back. Till we're in the back.
Okay, so the T's have a bit of a rudimentary crossfire here, but it should do the job at least to spot the CTs, who have a Molotov, 2 smokes and a flash. And you can bounce a flash off the wall into the site, which most people know, but they are just going to go assuming somebody's in the pit, and that's not going to pay off. So now it's HellRaisers who find themselves at match point versus an AGG who have had a less than exemplary CT side.
I like how you use the word rudimentary crossfire, because that word always comes off very condescending to me. I think that's amazing. Wouldn't you say?
What?
Rudimentary.
The word?
Yeah, the word.
I love the word rudimentary.
Yeah, it sounds really condescending.
You think so?
I think so. Sometimes. At least when it comes from you.
Wow.
The setup is rudimentary.
Well, it's less than ideal, Dan. It's not optimal. It's not what they would want, but it might be all they have to choose from without taking excessive risks. Rudimentary is a way of saying that. Much shorter. So GruBy's gone for like a running flashbang there, but you can just aim at the corner of the terrace roof and do basically exactly the same flashbang, if not better. Which I actually made a video for on my channel if you can find it. I haven't even set it up properly, so I'm not going to tell you what it is. Well, AGG losing numbers now, and getting a bit desperate, pushing the smoke here. Seems they are just running out of ideas, running out of utility, running out of men, running out of weapons, running out of everything. Running out of air, Dan. They're being choked slowly but surely by the smoke from the flames of the HellRaisers.
That was a little bit elaborate.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, it's not over yet. Hyper's still in a good position, and he's going to pick up a frag. Unfortunately for him, he took a lot of damage there. Otherwise, he could have tried to attempt another frag, but looks like it's going to be down to the scout of Rallen, and Hyper has picked up the AK, and the bomb is going to be planted on A from HellRaisers. So going to have some pretty ridiculous shots here. This is pretty favourable right now for HellRaisers, to say the least. We've got Hyper now moving in as the sole survivor. Why is his name Hyper Water Dog? GG.
You'll have to ask yourself. They've lost both games to the HellRaisers, so again another awful CT side for AGG. And there we go, HellRaisers 2-0 in this best of 2.
Yeah. 2-0 indeed, and we have Paul back now. Welcome, sir, back to the.
Yes, indeed, I am back. Indeed, that was I think it was nicely summarised actually by James. Another awful CT side. What can you do? Let's recap it a little bit because there were some highlights in there for AGG. Got a great start, good T side, strong T side. You thought maybe they could win the second map.
Yeah, they had a good effort on their T side, and we thought it was a done deal. I think we might see a few clips here. So a bit of a 2v2. I mean, yeah, AGG had a very good T start. That was actually insane. That second shot was nuts, and that was very crucial. And who knows what the score might have been if it went the other way. And yeah, to speak about Oskar quickly, like his aim down mid like that, I have not seen somebody do it like that. Basically, that's pretty nice to see.
There's a decent name on his gun as well, Total Destruction.
Yeah,
and that
indeed,
was pretty apt for that first half.
Yeah, although Rallen's is my favourite because his AWP is called King of the Internet, which I wish I came up with myself because that is fantastic. But he wasn't the King of the Internet on this occasion because they did get wrecked by HellRaisers pretty bad. Any
particular standouts, Dan, for you in terms of AGG? Have they got anything that can get them out of this group and get them into the semi-final?
It's a bit weird because you would expect to see a much better CT side from them, generally speaking, on a map like this. I don't know why both teams struggled so much on their CT sides. We saw a lot of strange setups or essentially kind of gambling on your setups, not getting the information, and we also saw a lack of control as well, like a lot of back and forth when it came to controlling certain areas of the map, like banana and apartments. Everything felt like a little bit inconsistent for both teams. Everything came a little bit to some degree of difficulty. And the other thing that looked pretty solid on the CT side of HellRaisers was Oscar's AWPing, but that's still, even though he was getting frags and saving them in a lot of rounds, they're kind of bleeding out, hemorrhaging in other positions. So there'd always have to be a clutch. They'd always lose too much money. And you need to maintain a very strong economy so you can have the nades to go aggressive on certain positions and so on. So I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one, the inconsistency for both teams there.
Yeah, I mean CT-sided Inferno, sometimes it's down to communication, it's down to good strategy obviously in those positions, but it seemed like AGG in the second half kind of lost their way. They were passive, that didn't work. Then they were aggressive, and that didn't work. And then suddenly it did work, and then it didn't work. And teams that play like that on the CT side, generally, it seems like they're just not playing very well as a team, doesn't it, when they're on those CT sides? Well,
a lot of the problem was that they tried to mix up their approach over towards the B-bomb site, but they just kept getting picked. And then once the entire team's in the B-bomb site and your 3 players are over towards A, it's not even worth trying to take it because you can't afford to do so. So that's you just basically give up round to 3 in that sense. So there we go, just kind of fell apart for them, Avalanche.
Yeah, in terms of Dan, in terms of HellRaisers' performance, though, how do you measure it over the 2 maps? Because they come away with 3 points, and after all, that's what it's all about in the end.
Yeah, I think it's hard to judge from some perspectives due to the fact that I feel like the polls actually gave too many situations for them to kind of abuse, which you wouldn't probably see from some better teams. Like, we saw a lot of spots where the Polish side would get the advantage on players, but then and they would look like they were if you looked at all their positions and their setups, like they're posturing very defensively, saying we're very passive. Then after getting that 5 versus 4, suddenly someone does a push somewhere, which is just kind of completely is a mix up in the initial ethos of that round for them. So I feel like they were giving HellRaisers ways back into the game at certain points. So. But as we discussed, it went back and forth like that. HellRaisers did a lot of similar things where, they were a little bit disjointed as well. So we didn't see a lot of really solid executes onto the bomb sites, especially A was a little bit sloppy. I would like to have seen better trading towards arch side and quad as well. Just setting up rounds there a bit better. It's all a bit chaotic, to be honest.
Yeah, we're going to head to a break very shortly, but I just want to talk about the other 2 teams in the group just very briefly in relation to HellRaisers as well, because SK and Gambit are not going to let HellRaisers get away with that kind of sloppy play, are they?
Hopefully not. Gambit should have good experience from being in the major. Obviously, SK will have to see what kind of shape they're in, because they don't always do amazing. So I'm sure we'll find out after the break.
Indeed. As we are going to head to that break right now. Thank you very much to James and DDK, or Young Red Eye as we're now calling him. Apparently, yeah,
Wait,
whatever. Young Red Eye. It's a new thing. I'm trying to get the chat to adopt it rather than using old DDK, but old DDK reporting in. We'll be back with more after the break. Don't forget, more games to come. We've got 3 games in this particular group and 3 in the Americas, and that was the grenade going off. Thank you very much, Mr. Bartosz. After the break, we have SK versus Gambit.